it's not too often you get to sit down and hang out with some of your old buddies, some of your old teammates. Well, sometimes I get to see my old teammates, but they ain't my old buddies. You, Trey Smith, how many Super Bowls you got now?
2.
2 Super Bowls. How many All-Pros you got?
None.
No All-Pros.
None,
That's next year.
Yes, sir.
And how many Pro Bowls did you make in a row?
3.
Okay, this is going to be your 5th year?
6th year.
6th year coming up. You made 3 Pro Bowls. You won 2 Super Bowls. You protected arguably the greatest quarterback that may go down as the greatest quarterback ever. You played next to your buddy Creed Humphrey, who you came in as rookies together. I'm just kind of setting the table for those of you who don't know Trey Smith. He's in the State Farm commercials. He's Patrick's protector. This is the good protector, not the traffic cop protector, which is what I was. Okay, so this is called This Almost Didn't Happen. All right, we're talking about some things that almost didn't happen in your life that have happened and led you to sit here today. Okay, so you came to Tennessee as a 5-star recruit,
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yep.
What was it like being recruited in high school, so highly sought after, all these coaches coming to your high school, pulling you out of English class? What was that experience like for you?
Bro, it was dope, man. And one of the best things you just said is, like, pulling you out of classes. You know what I mean?
And all the people are like, this guy's cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Dabo Sweeney's in the hall. We need Trey for, like, 10 minutes. Or Nick Saban, Urban Meyer. That was dope, man. I think recruiting was like a madhouse. Being like a 5-star, and I was, like, #1 overall on ESPN at the time. So I remember going to University of Tennessee. It's like one of the crazier stories I have. And Butch Jones, the head coach, who I later on commit to, was like, hey, what's your dad's favorite car? And I was just like, well, Dad, what's your favorite car? He's like, my dad goes, a Rolls Royce, probably black, Wraith, nice mink interior, all this stuff, right? 30 minutes later, they're like, hey, just follow us downstairs. They have a black Rolls Royce, full description of what he asked for, just sitting there. And they drove us around campus, man.
Pac-12, you know what they got me at Oregon?
What'd they get you?
They got me a pizza and a bag of peanuts. And they said, do you love football, son? Okay, so 18 years old, you're #1 on the ESPN list. You're #4 on the CBS list that I made. Okay, I didn't have you as #1. You show up at Tennessee, and then the realization that there are other freaks in the world as well. When and when I say freaks, that's a good thing, by the way, in our little world. So you show up in the locker room, and there's a bunch of guys, not necessarily a bunch of Trey Smiths, but people that are kind of like you. What was that like, kind of restarting in the ranks?
Yeah, it was a little culture shock in a way. I early enrolled, so I came in January.
Summer bridge? Winter.
Yeah, I was early. I was 17. When I walked into college, man, and I remember seeing a guy, for guys watching, Khalil McKenzie. If you look him up and look at him when he went to the University of Tennessee, this guy was a monster. He's like the reason I got jacked and big, right? So I was like, damn, I got to block guys
because you were
like
lifting
that.
next to him.
Yes, and I'm just watching him put 405 on a bar, just repping it relentlessly. I'm just like, I can barely hit 315. All right, this is a problem. But seeing guys like that, man, then having to play a little team called University of Alabama during that time. It's like, okay. This is SEC. It's time
the NFL Developmental League, the SEC.
Farm League. It's time to grow up pretty fast.
So after your freshman season, the medical staff discovered something that was really alarming for you. Can you talk me through what they found out and how you responded emotionally immediately?
Yeah, man. Winter programming. Old coach, Coach Jones got fired. In comes in Jeremy Pruitt, University of Alabama. We have mat drills, in off season, which are like the toughest time ever.
Drills,
Awful. A week prior to that, in conditioning, I passed out. I'd never passed out running before in my life. Didn't finish. Thought I had upper respiratory infection. Mat drills then start. And then probably like halfway through mat drills, I'm barely able to stand on my own power. I'm like leaning on my coaches, barely getting through. Completely. Like I was going in and out of consciousness, basically.
And that's a spot that, like, if we're doing conditioning tests, if we're doing mat drills, that's not a spot that we're too foreign to being in. Like, I can't stand up. I need to lay down for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
When was it that you realized that it was something more?
I went to the doctors and like, hey, doc, in the past day, I've lost 13 pounds. I am, like, coughing up blood a little bit. Like, I feel awful. And like I said, I thought it was respiratory infection. My doctor, Chris Klink at the time, God bless him, he ends up checking my blood, draws blood, sends out. I was like, man, there might be a chance on it.
Chris Klink.
Yep. Dr. Klink, man, shout out to him. He saved my life. He saved my life. Go to class that day. I remember the library's like 500 yards. I had to stop like 5 times, just catch my breath. Get out of class. I get a call, and he's like freaking out, like, where are you at? Where are you doing? Where are you at?
Stop doing whatever
Yeah,
you're
what are you
doing?
doing? He's like, stand still. We're going to come get you. They rush me to the hospital, and I'm sitting there in the bed, and the doctor looks at me. He's like, hey, man, you have blood clots in both sides of your lungs. He's like, we're happy we caught it in time. This could be fatal. And I remember just sitting there like an idiot, just being like, well, can I still play football? Like, when can I go back out there? He's like, man, we're just happy you're alive, man.
So you still played 7 games to start the season.
Absolutely, yep.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah, man.
It's a testament to your toughness, endurance, all that stuff. And then Wanye Morris, who is in Kansas City with you, was a Tennessee Volunteer.
Yep.
He ended up taking the spot because of your injury?
Yeah, so Wanye came in more at tackle. They sort of viewed me more as a guard at that point. But Wanye came in with Darnell Wright, too, with the Bears. We were loaded.
We'll get to Darnell in a second because you gave me a preview of Darnell Wright. You remember me asking you about him?
Yeah.
So continue. So Wanye was in there. He was tackle. You were a guard.
Yep, at tackle and guard. So 7-game stretch, sort of same feelings, man, lightheadedness, all the things. And get rushed to the hospital. They're like, man, you have blood clots again. And then see, the caveat was, if I had blood clots a second time, I'd be done playing football. I'd never play football again. So at that point, I was devastated, man. Like, you know, real talk.
And there has to be that feeling where, like, even if a workout goes well, a practice goes well, you go home and you're just waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, for sure.
You're waiting for that thing. You know, you're playing Overwatch at home, and all of a sudden you don't feel right.
Yeah, man, seriously. Always in the back of your head, like, man, what if it happens again?
That's wild. Well, you get through Tennessee.
Yep.
And then you enter into the NFL draft, and you become the number 226th draft pick.
Yep.
So you go from being number 1 to number 226.
No doubt.
What was that like for you?
I was frustrated, man. Talking to my agents, they're like, you're going to be a first round. No, excuse me, they're going to be like a second round. Third round is like worst case scenario. Not first is a medical history. So, you know, the first day, I'm like, I'm not getting picked, whatever. I'm on Rocket League the entire day. Day 2 comes
2v2, 3v3, or solos?
3v3.
Okay.
3v3.
You have friends. I don't. I do solos.
So, bro, day 2 comes around. I'm like, man, second round. All right, comes and goes. All right, third round comes and goes. I remember just like
panic. You want to hide from the world, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely. You know, your family's over, your friends,
and your phone's blowing up.
Yeah, like keep your head up. I didn't want sympathy. You know what I mean? And
you just wanted a destination.
Absolutely, I wanted one opportunity, man. And remember, day 3 came around. A coach from my organization who's not there anymore calls me. It's just like, man, we're gonna take you with a undrafted option. We'll fly you and dad out, blah blah. And I was like, you know what? That's my fate. As long as I got one opportunity, I'm fine with it. Thank you, God. And 15 minutes later, I get a call, and ID is Kansas City Chiefs, and it's the team doctor. And I'll never forget this. He calls. He's like, hey Trey, I told you I'd call, and he like chuckles a little bit. And then my mom like, dude, what the hell do you want? So I literally tell him, all right, what's up? And he goes, all right, man, well, we're going to make you the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's our owner, Clark Hunt. When Mr. Hunt hopped on the phone, it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is happening. So I sharpened up a little bit. I got more serious. And, you know, then it, like, happened, man. I was like, I got an opportunity, and, you know, I'm going to make the best out of it.
I want to talk to you a little bit about that opportunity because I had the luxury of being there and seeing it.
Yeah.
I retired in 2020, took a year off, and got the microphone at CBS, and I hated it. I don't know if I hated it as much as I loved being in the room with guys like you.
Yeah.
So I went back to Kansas City. After taking a year off, I didn't know if I was going to be able to play, but it became clear to me that I was still the guy that I thought I was.
Yeah.
Physically and from a speed of the game standpoint. And then you and Creed show up on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And my sense of urgency goes higher. There's 2 hats I wore that year. One hat was an old soldier trying to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
And the other was seeing this young group of talented, strong-hearted men that come into the Chiefs organization that I can obviously project taking this thing to a higher place. You were behind me in OTAs.
Yep.
We sat next to each other in meetings.
Yep.
Every rep that you did something wrong, I'd say, fix your damn head. What I'd say, I'd look at you, I'd just be like, Andy Heck would be coaching you.
Yeah.
And he'd be telling you 55 words. And I'd look at you, I'd say, left hand.
Yeah, that's really
And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I really do, bro.
So you're in a room with a vet, and number of vets in there. There were a couple guys that were like year 6, year 7.
Yeah.
And then my leg breaks because Chris Jones and I got in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
what went through your mind there? You go from number 1 in high school, 226 pick, back up, and now, boom, you're in the huddle with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, because we've never really talked about that. Yeah, we can cuss.
Yeah,
this is internet TV.
All right, bet. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, God, shit got real quick, man.
It was the last day of spring.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. And whenever Coach Heck, they're like, you guys, you're going with the ones, it was like, oh, shit, like, I got to get it together, you know what I mean? And then we're walking into training camp, man, you know how intense St. Joe's is, like, going against Chris Jones every rep. And
the 7-man sled to start practice.
Dude, come on, man. And then an 18-play long drive drill to finish every single
LBD.
day. Yeah, come on, man. Like, it was pretty tough, man. I'm not going to lie to you. But, the thing about it, like you just said, the amount of veterans we had in that room really is what carried me through. Right, sitting next to you, getting the wisdom and knowledge.
Rimmers.
Yeah, dude, Mike Rimmers.
The best.
You know what I mean? Like, guy like Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, like Larry.
LDT.
Having Larry there, man. And, we had all these guys, Orlando, obviously Joe. Like, having those guys be able to pick me up as a young guy and teach me the ropes, man, I mean, it was priceless. It was priceless in my development.
So, you mentioned Joe Tooney. What was it like without Joe Tooney in that room? Because as you and I know, he's the man.
Yeah, he's the man, bro.
For lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, man.
So what was that like without JT? And what was it like seeing him go somewhere else and them getting good?
Yeah. Dude, it was just tough. You know what I mean? Like, you have a guy that, realistically, in the NFL, I've never played football without him. Not saying from a standpoint he's right beside me. And
but he's in your group.
Yeah, he's my boy. He's one of the guys. And, that was extremely difficult for me and Creed. Creed will tell you the same. Like, there are a lot of moments we'd be reminiscing, especially early on, like, I wish Joe was there for that. Or Joe would have loved that. Or Joey would have, you know what I mean? But, you learn to live without it. That's why I did the Heart so good seeing him this week. But, it's different, man, when you lose those core personality guys. A guy like Orlando Brown, when he left, man, like, that was tough, losing OB. So
personalities.
Yeah, personalities carry you through those dark times, man.
Well, you carried me through a dark time at the end of my career, and getting to watch you have so much success. The last question I'm going to ask, how does it feel to live out the promise that you made to your mother?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I don't take lightly. It's something that, there's not a day that goes by I don't think about my mom. And, I wish she was here to see it. She only saw just a glimpse of what I am and what I could have accomplished. And so far in my mind, there's so much more that I have to do in order to honor her legacy. But, man, it's so cool that, God's blessed me with these opportunities. My dad's able to enjoy these things with us. And, at an early age, I learned to not take a moment for granted, especially with family, man. Like, never, if I leave her one thing, don't take a moment with family for granted. You don't know how many opportunities, how many times you get it. So make the most out of every single time, man.
Thank you so much, Trey. I'm lucky to know you.
Absolutely.
And I'm lucky to have been a teammate of you, bro.
Real talk.
Trey Smith, the best.